Okay, so I have one design change I want to implement before I go any further. So I'm going to save a new version here. Sometimes, often, when you're programming, you get to a certain point and you think, I should have done things a little differently. And that happened to me. I noticed when we're playing the Space Invaders game, which I should have thought about earlier, but anyway, these guys only move either left or right or up and down, right? So what I want to do, how do I stop this noise? I'll just restart it. So what I what I want to do is change the way I'm moving things here. Let me recompile. So what I'm going to do is, because I have my I'm using the move method from Actor right now to move these guys around, and the only problem with that is I never want to rotate my characters at all. Where is my move for this guy? Yeah, I'm using set location with this guy, which is good. But I never want to actually rotate my guys with the bullet. Am I using? Yeah, see, I'm using set rotation here, and then I do a move in bullet. And I never really want to rotate my guys. What I'd really like to do is just, whenever I create a new character, just plop him in, whatever, the way he's facing, and have him go, left or right or up or down, based on, without rotating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class here. And I'm going to make everybody else be a subclass of that. So I'm going to create a class that can either moves vertically or moves horizontally. All right, I'll just call it Space Actor because it's a kind of actor. But all my Space Invader guys, the bullets and everything else, are going to be subclasses of this. I wonder if I can just drag this? No. So what I got to do is go into bullet and make this extend Space Actor, and then go into shooter and alien and do the same thing. It's a Space Actor, and the alien is going to be a Space Actor. And Space Actor is going to have its own special move functions. The act function is going to be inherited from Actor. So I'm going to make a new one. But I'm going to give him the ability to move vertically or move horizontally. And he'll move vertically by a certain amount. So int move step. Okay, or how about step size? So how, let's see, so let's say copy, paste, put in a little bit of comments here. So move vertically according to step size. Let's say if step size is positive, then I'm going to want to move in the positive direction of the screen, which is going down, right? Move down step size steps. If step size is negative, move up. Step size, steps. Okay. So, to move, so I'm moving vertically, so that means I'm changing the y coordinate, right? So if I just say set location to, I'm going to leave the x coordinate the same. So whatever my x is, if I say get x, that's my current x location. So if I say set location to get x, that sets it to my current x location. And if I said get y, that would be my y location. This would not move me anywhere at all, right? Because I'm getting my x, my current x and my current y, and I'm setting to that location. So that's basically saying don't move. But if I add step size, what happens? Well, if step size is positive, I'm going to move down by step size steps. And if step size is negative, I'll move up that amount. Okay, and that's what I wanted to do. Cool. Okay, so now I want to do something similar for moving back and forth, right? Moving horizontally. So I'm going to copy this and paste. And I'll have a move horizontally. Move horizontally. Step size. Okay. And for this one, it's the x that I'm going to change, right? Because x is what goes, is measured left to right, right? So this is going to be move horizontally, and I'll move horizontally according to step size. If step size is positive, move. Okay, so now if we're adding to the step size, we're moving to the right. And if it's negative, move left. Okay, so this covers all the movements that are that everything in our world has to do, right? Because the bullets, the alien bullets only move down, the shooter bullets only move up, this guy only moves left and right, and this guy can move down or left and right. Okay, so all those guys. So now I'm going to make sure that these guys are all incorporating the move horizontally and move vertically. So wherever I had, so I'm going to get rid of this set rotation, and that means I'm going to have to go in and change my images again, but it's worth it because now every time I add something new, I'll be set. So I'm going to get rid of this default direction business. I don't need this constructor anymore because I don't have to rotate the guy. So instead of saying move step size, the shooter bullet will always move vertically. And if it's if it's the shooter's bullet, then it'll move up, and if it's the alien's bullet, it'll move down, right? So we're going to have problems now because I didn't incorporate. I think we're going to have problems. Let's see. If I try to compile that now, what happens? Oh, it compiles. Okay. So now I've changed it so it's moved vertically instead of the other. So let's get rid of the direction stuff here. Don't need this. Don't need that. Okay. He's got nothing. Okay, so that should be okay. And the shooter, to Does he have any move? Oh, I've been using set location for him, right? So instead of set location, let's see. If the key is left, then we want to move horizontally to the left by step size, right? So move horizontally. So to move left, if my step size is 5, to move left I need to make this a negative step size, right? Okay. And if the key is right, then I want to move horizontally a positive step size. I think this is a little easier to read too. Kind of, it's clearer to see what we're doing. So he's either moving horizontally, either left or right. And then the shooter bullet already has his stuff in there. So let's just make sure I didn't break anything here. If I go back and forth. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, look at my bullets are going backwards. So let's see, what did I do to the shooter bullets? So he has nothing. So if he, let's see, so he's going to do whatever the bullet's going to do. And the bullet is saying make my step size be this. So well, let's see. So the alien bullet says, oh, has that is out of bounds. What does the bullet do for is out of bounds? Move vertically, step size. How about, I think I should maybe pull out this move vertically and just have a in the bullet have a move function and have that be public static step size. Or maybe just have the step size be passed in to the shooter bullet. Yeah, I think maybe the best way to do that, where do I create my bullets? That's, oh, I see, the shooter and the alien create their bullets, right? So new shooter bullet. What if I make this be minus step size, and then in shooter bullet I have a constructor. So I want my regular constructor. And then I'll make a constructor that takes a step size maybe. So int step size. I kind of like this because then individual bullets can have their own step size. Let's say private int step size. And we can say this, because I think we have a class, a public class step size up here, yeah. So we can use that as the default. And actually, well, no, I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to say step, or this step size because I want to make sure I'm setting the instance variable, because I already have a local variable named step size equals step size. So when I use this dot in front of step size, that tells me I'm talking about the instance variable. Without this dot, we're referring to the local variable step size. So whatever got passed in to the constructor is going to be here, and then I'm going to assign this value to my instance variable. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, don't forget semicolons. Alright, and actually, one more thing. You know what I should do? Since I have this as a subclass, I should really do this in bullet also. In fact, I'm going to move this up to bullet. This just gives me more flexibility. Then all my all the alien bullets know the same stuff. Okay, so then I can say for this one I can use the this step size. I'm going to copy this constructor here and paste it in. Except we want this to be bullet instead of shooter bullet, right? Because your constructor always has to have the same name as your class. And then here I can just say super step size. So super just says call the constructor for the parent class for bullet that needs one input. And this one, if I just take out and don't do anything, this will automatically call the parent guy. So I can do that. But now I need to fix. Let me copy this because now I need to fix alien bullet and make sure that it has the same constructors. Because look what happens if I. How does that compile? Oh, I guess because it has the default thing up there. It doesn't need to do that. But I am gonna put that in anyway in case I decide at some point. So let me do a copy and a paste. In case I decide at some point to have a constructor like this to change the step size for the aliens. It might make the game more challenging if I can vary the speed of those bullets or whatever. So anyway, let's see what happens now if this works. So the problem we had before was that the bullets were falling down instead of shooting up from this guy. So to make sure those are going in the right direction, what I did was I added this constructor that lets me change the step size. So I can change the direction by making the step size negative. And then in shooter, I said, okay, make the bullet go negative step size. So this step size actually is referring to the step size for the shooter itself, how far it goes back and forth. So I might, at some point decide to use a different value for that, but in fact that's a little confusing. No, I'm going to fix that. So I'm going to say make one for bullet step size. Copy and paste, because I like to have meaningful variable names. So let's say bullet step size and make it -5 because we know we want it to be negative. And now if I say copy, because we want the bullet to go up. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so now this is more meaningful. So now I'm saying new shooter bullet. This is the step size for the shooter bullet, and the position that I'm going to add it, this is my add object, remember, the position I'm going to add it is at the X and Y of the shooter. Okay, so let's do this, and now see, back and forth. Oh, still going down. Why? Let's see. So I hit the space bar. I make a new shooter bullet with that step size, with the bullet step size, which is -5. Then so that's this guy. So it should be calling shooter bullet with that step size. I think I know what I didn't do. And then this says step size, right? I'm still saying move vertically step size with this guy instead of the instance variable. So let's copy this and paste it. Okay, so now I'll be using the step size that I passed into the constructor. Okay, so let's compile, close, close. There we go, 1. Awesome. Okay, so now the only thing left to do is fix these images again. So I no longer have to have my images pointing off to the side. I can change them so they go down. So I'm going to use preview and adjust those, and then we'll be able to move on. But I'm not going to bother doing that in the video because I've done that. I did that in the video before to get it to go this way, so you should know how to do that. So that'll be the next thing, and then in the next video I'll have these all changed.